My ex-girlfriend, technically, and you'll understand why, she accused me of being a homophobe. You don't know me, so you don't know. Maybe she has a point. So, just by way of explanation, I once described the guy who plays Jon Snow on Game of Thrones as dreamy. You know how everybody has that list of 5 celebrities they can cheat with because we all saw the same episode of Friends 20 years ago and it changed the world? John Hamm is on my list. I don't even necessarily want to, but if the opportunity came up, I'd feel like a jackass if I couldn't take advantage. So, groundwork laid. We were talking about music, and she mentioned Vampire Weekend, who are probably terrible based on the name, but I don't know. I'm old. I don't know where people listen to music these days. I assume it's an app of some sort, and I had this line I was waiting to use when somebody would bring up a band I don't like, so I said, Vampire Weekend. I'd rather have a dick in my ear than a Vampire Weekend song. There was a time I thought that was gold and wrote that down to use. And her response was, well, that's homophobic. Is it? Is that what they do? Because maybe I am then. If they're just running around ear blasting one another, I am not. You know, if you asked me before that, hey EJ, are you in favor of gay marriage? Sure, have fun, go nuts. Now, you're not even supposed to put Q-tips in those things, technically. That is disrespectful to ears. And I say this, but of course, if John Hamm were to approach me and say, hold still a minute, I want to try something, I am bound by the list to participate.
See, there's a lot of white people here tonight. Nothing wrong with that. Remind me of the first time I dated a white girl. Yeah. It was her first time dating a black guy. She was really into this shit. She was like, oh, give me that big black cock. You porch monkey. And that's how I found out that I really love choking white women. Call me the porch monkey, white devil. And we both came. That's right, some people get off on racism. No, actually, I was 26 and she was 22. And she wanted me to meet her parents, but she didn't tell them I was black. Yeah. Over at her parents' house for a dip in the pool and a barbecue. Stayed my ass away from that barbecue. Me and her dad in the pool alone, he starts right in on it. So Floyd told me, what's long and hard on a black man? The 3rd grade. I didn't think that shit was funny. I had a little trouble with the 3rd grade. Both times. But I could tell he was ignorant, you know, so I just swam away. But he followed. So Floyd told me, why does chocolate melt in your mouth and not in your hand? Like, man, I don't know. Ask your daughter. And I swam away. They did not laugh at that joke in Idaho. They were too busy pulling out rope. So I got to tap dancing. Who can take a rainbow? Look, teeth. That's a sick joke, and you motherfuckers are sick for laughing at it. Nah, man. I'm in my 40s now, so when I date a woman, 9 times out of 10, she got a teenager at home. And you know, most teenagers are pretty cool. You know, help raise a few up. They can do good things in life. But for the most part, this generation of teenagers are a piece of shit. Yeah, they think they all don't think they something. Like, her friend, her son helped me fix my phone, right? You know, that computer shit, whatever the fuck it was. And he was like, our generation way better than yours. I'm like, motherfucker, y'all let a peanut take y'all out. This is the first generation where they die with a fucking peanut. I'm serious, you guys know that? I wish they would tell us that we couldn't have no peanuts when we were little. Fuck you! That's all we can afford, motherfucker. Andre gotta die. I'm serious. They got like, what, gluten-free and all that shit, lactose intolerant. We didn't have none of that shit when we were little. You know what? You know what's gluten-free? We didn't have no name. We just called him the kid who shit a lot. Where's Eric? In the toilet. And the teddy chip took him out again. Yeah, they ain't taking away bullying. You guys know about that? They're taking bullying away. You can't bully kids no more. Listen, for one thing, you know, if a bully's fucking with you, you go get somebody that's tougher than a bully. Who's tougher than a bully? The foster care kid. He don't even have to hit the dude. He'll tell him a story. I'm gonna take your fucking money right now. Oh yeah? That's all you gonna do? What? You ain't gonna put a cigarette on my back? Make me suck your dick? You ain't gonna do none of that? You ain't no real man. That's fucking true. That's fucking true. Yeah, you can't even call midgets anymore. You guys know that? You can't call, when I was little, I called them midgets. I'm gonna tell you right now, when I was 7 years old, I didn't believe in midgets. I didn't even think they were real people. Yeah, I fell asleep on the Wizard of Oz and shit, and it fucked me up. But I really wanted to tickle one. Oh my God, I still want to tickle one. What? I do, I swear to God, a midget came in here right now, tickle the shit out of me. I can't watch Game of Thrones anymore because I be touching his titty and shit. Come here, little midget, let me tickle the shit out of you. What? You guys don't have those type of feelings? Listen, if you guys want to tickle a black man, that ain't racist. I'll let you tickle me, I don't give a fuck. I like laughing. No, man, I'm just saying. Oh, fuck. Domestic violence is the second reason I don't date men. You get hurt. What's the first? I'm not a fucking fag. No. I hate it when people kill people and they try to get away with it. Just by telling the judge, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I killed my family because I was temporarily insane. Yeah, but you're only temporarily insane for one day. I have a mentally challenged cousin named Steve. He's mentally challenged every day. He can't take a break. He should have a license to kill. And with that said, you guys know it costs us taxpayers over $2 million to execute somebody on death row? When my cousin Stevie would do it for some taffy. I would become a coach. Hold that shit at the Special Olympics. Look at the story the guy would have to tell when he goes to hell. He's sitting around with all the other guys in hell. How'd you die? Lethal injection. How'd you die? Electric chair. How'd you die? Funny you should ask. All I heard was a gunshot. 8 special kids started running my way. When they got to the finish line, they started hitting me over the head with a pillowcase stuffed with unfinished coloring books. And some guy yelled Skittles, and then they ran away. Would you love to tell that fucking story? I'm Floyd J. Phillips. Bye.
I don't know if this ever happens to you guys, but I've been having the same conversation again and again lately. Seems like almost every week I hear, hey Zach, You're handsome, intelligent, charming, have no problem going down on the ladies, and you have hair like a god. And I say, stop it, Mom. You're making me blush. She says, I mean, you have so much going for you. Why can't you get a girlfriend? So you know what, Mom? I don't know. I wish I knew. Wish I could figure that one out so I could find somebody who I could love, who would love me unconditionally, and we could grow old together. I'm afraid that I'm never going to find that person, Mom, and I don't know why. But enough about that. It's time to breastfeed. With me talking about sucking on my mom's titties, or anything I say upsets you tonight, you can find me in back, tickling that black man. He gave the go-ahead. I like black people. Like Don Cheadle and the rest of them. I'm not gonna name all of them, but just trust me, I do. My mom hopes it's a phase, but no, it's the real deal. I got black friends and everything. Not easy to come by for me though. I'm like a white man who was born into wealth. We don't trust you. Gotta earn that. I'm like the man in training. But I do. I like black people. I like things about black people. Like in theory, I like Black History Month. I think it's a great idea. In practice, not so much. Because like they teach about it in school, but it's like every single year in school, I would just learn about the same 4 black people. It's like, I know, like, if you take math class, you don't just learn about arithmetic, kindergarten through 12th grade, it progresses. But no, with Black History Month, every year I learn about like, Harriet Tubman. She built railroads. It's not funny, it's important. Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks, big in the civil rights movement. All 3 very important, amazing people. And then the peanut guy. I don't want to undermine George Washington Carver and his contributions to lunch. But how did he get on Black Mount Rushmore? I think white people were making that curriculum. After the first 3, they're like, hey, Black History Month's a lot about black people overcoming us, being shitty. There's some peanuts in there. I was on Facebook the other day and just scrolling through nonsense, like weather's nice, I know, but sports, and then it's like, someone's like, hey, look at this gross baby. It's the disgusting bubble growing out of its head. Were you eating lunch? Sorry, but this is important. So if this photo gets 1 million likes, we're gonna fix this ugly baby. That's a fucking lie. Someone's like, hey, I notice your baby's gross. I have the money to fix it. I just need you to post a photo of it on Facebook. Get 1 million likes. Oh, you only got 850,000 likes? Sorry, ugly baby. You're staying ugly. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go tie a lady to some railroad tracks. I'm a fictional evil person. That's just what we do. Watching the news the other day, I don't know if you guys watched that show, but they were interviewing a guy about Obama's fiscal policies, and he seemed underqualified on the subject matter. There were a couple of hints. The first one was that on this particular news network, under the person being interviewed, it'll say their name and their profession. Like if it was someone who should have been being interviewed, it would be like Dr. Alan Remington, economics professor at Harvard. But for this guy, it said Stephen Henry, and under that it said Steve. I don't think it was his job. The next thing was everything he said. I won't bore or dumb you down with the details, but in so many words he said, Obama raised taxes, Hitler raised taxes, Obama is Hitler. Well, color me ignorant. I was unaware that for some people, the apex of Hitler's atrocities was taxes. I always thought it was the other thing. But not Steve. I'm Jewish, you guys don't have to feel bad about laughing at this stuff. But not Steve. Apparently he read a book, or wiki-wriked it at some point, and he found out, he's like, man, that Hitler guy, he was bad news. Let me tell you. Did you know that during his reign, he raised taxes over 18% nationwide? Yeah, the nerve. And during the most severe shortage of accountants in Germany's history. Thank you very much. I'm Zach Stein.
Everybody have a good July 4th? Yeah? I didn't. Let me tell you why. I don't really care for July 4th. I got to admit, it's one of my least favorite holidays. Here's why. 2 reasons. Number 1, fireworks. I don't really care for fireworks, personally. That's me. And the reason is because there's always that alpha male in a group that wants to try to impress people and improve his social dominance by holding a bottle rocket way too long. I've never once turned around and saw somebody go, oh my God, Becca, did you see the way he held that bottle rocket for way too long? In a few years, when he blows his hands off, he's gonna spend that disability check on me. And we're gonna get married and we're gonna have 6 kids and none of them are gonna have hands. Who needs hands? My friends have a lot of kids. Is that a weird segue? Go from no hands to a lot of kids? There were kids in there, so it's okay. My friends have a lot of kids. It's chaotic how many kids they have. Anybody have friends that have so many kids it's chaotic? Walk into their house, it's like walking into that beginning beach scene in Saving Private Ryan. One kid's over here crying for their mommy, then all of a sudden, falls asleep. 2 kids over here arguing over the last piece of candy. Another kid stumbles in from the living room, picks up an arm to a broken Barbie. I'm like, Steve, why do you have so many kids? He says, that's a weird question, DJ. You know my brothers and sisters? I come from a big family. That's the way my dad did it. That's the way his dad did it. I guess we have a family tradition. I was gonna leave it alone, but he tried to flip it on me. He was like, DJ, you're getting older. You're gonna have to settle down soon. When are you gonna have kids? When I get the call, I guess. Hey, we need to talk. That's not even my lifestyle. But that's the way my dad did it. That's the way his dad did it. We kind of got a family tradition of our own.
I was walking down the street the other day, and this guy comes up to me and he's handing me a pamphlet, and he goes, hey man, you want to know why 9/11 was an inside job? And I looked at him, and he had sandals, a V-neck, and a Rastafarian hat on, and I'm like, nope, I don't. I don't want to know why 9/11 was an inside job. But I will buy weed from you. I will buy so much weed from you. Even if you have a type of weed called 9/11 was an inside job, I think I'd buy that from you. Everyone has political opinions nowadays because of Facebook. And I was on Facebook the other day and my 16-year-old cousin was on there. And she said that she didn't think gay people should be able to get married, which is complete bullshit. Not because I just disagree with her, but because she's 16 and she doesn't fucking get an opinion. Because to me, opinions are like assholes. If you're under the age of 18, I don't want to see yours posted on Facebook. That's just how I feel. It's tough for me to lose weight because I work at a Walmart. That's a true story. Hold your applause for that one. Also, I'm broke. I work at a Walmart. It all just ties in, doesn't it? All nice and neat. And it's hard to lose weight when you're working at a Walmart because no matter how fat you think you are, there's just going to be somebody way fatter than you walking through the doors, right? Just fucking with your mind, thinking that, like, people will walk through the doors and I'm like Ryan Gosling. Holy shit, look at that guy. I saw a guy the other day, he was 500 pounds, he was on a scooter wearing camouflage. What the fuck you wearing camouflage for if you're 500 pounds? What are you hiding from? Jogging? Seriously, what are you hiding from? Vitamins A through E? A balanced diet? Diabetes? Because you're not hunting, you fat piece of shit. No 500-pound guy climbing up in a tree at 4 in the morning. There's like a Dunkin' Donuts up there or some shit. And no deer's fooled by it. No deer's like, holy shit. That tree really let itself go, didn't it?
Next guy, he's a white guy from Detroit, so you know he's got to be a badass, am I right? Right, yeah. This guy here, Blaine Hill.
The Detroit area. Keep it real, I'm not... What's up, guys? Any football fans out here? You guys like that? Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but next year in the NFL, they're going to start penalizing players for using the N-word on the field. So anytime somebody says the N-word, their team will get penalized 15 yards. But that just means it was someone's job to figure out how many yards racism is worth. And it's roughly the same as pass interference. Like someone got paid to do that. Someone went to their job, went to their office and made that decision. Like the commissioner of the NFL was in his office like, yeah, how many yards are in 40 acres? Cool. All right, you guys went to history class in February. All right. Another thing they're doing in football, I don't know if you guys heard about this, they're not doing it, but the dude, Michael Sam, he was the first openly gay NFL player. He got drafted in the 7th round. Yeah, I guess that's applause. But he got drafted in the 7th round. And afterward, I heard a lot of people, and they showed him kissing his boyfriend after he got drafted. And afterward, I heard from like a lot of people saying like, well, my 7-year-old kid is watching this. How do I explain to him what happened? How do I explain to him what he just saw? And I was just thinking, it can't be harder to explain than the rules of football, can it? Like, he watched in the 7th round of the NFL draft. He knows why the Browns traded down in the 5th to get that free safety. He knows what a cover 2 defense is. I think he would get, yeah, these two dudes like each other so they kiss and do ass play sometimes. I would imagine he could grasp it. You guys are on Facebook and social media, right? Right? Yeah? One of the things that I don't really like about social media are like the inspirational posts. Because they're usually like 2 sentences over like a picture of a beach, and you're supposed to solve all your problems that you have. But like my main thing is it's usually from some just hot girl in her 20s. All the pictures of all of her pictures are just her having the time of her life on some dude's boat. Oh, you mean to tell me if I just get rid of all the negative people in my life and follow my dreams, I too can blow a dude who has a boat? But there's one that I see a lot that I don't really understand. It goes, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. It's supposed to be like, yeah, if you keep failing, keep trying, keep going. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. It makes sense kind of that way, but like just mathematically, that doesn't make sense at all. Because if you fall down 7 times, you can only stand up 7 times, and then you're stood up. But then you got 1 stand up left to go, unless you started out on the ground, but how'd you get on the ground? That's a fall right there. Get your numbers straight, ladies. How is that supposed to help me get on the dude's boat, is what I'm... Alright, here's where we take a turn. I'm getting pretty into glory hole porn lately. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's where they start out, they put a girl in a room, usually looks like a bathroom or the basement from Saw. Someplace really classy and romantic like that. And there's a penis-sized hole in that room. And wouldn't you know it, penis comes out of that hole. And the girl does what ladies tend to do when faced with an anonymous dong mashed through a hole in a wall. She gives it the business, right? Ladies can't resist that shit. So I've been watching a lot of these. I'm doing a lot of research, which is what I call jerking off with a lab coat on. And I've seen a lot of crazy shit in these. 2 holes, 3 holes. There was one where the girl looked like she still had some hopes and dreams afterwards. One thing I haven't seen a lot of, glory. Not a lot of glory in glory hole porn. Not one time did I see a girl take a load in the face from a disembodied wiener and come off stage to a round of applause and people throwing roses at her. Not once. I do like to watch porn. Not like crazy a lot, just like 10 minutes a day, once a day, every day for the last 15 years. Like maybe twice if like whatever website I'm illegally downloading cartoons on has that banner ad of the girl spreading her butt cheeks over and over again. Then maybe 2, maybe. I said that on stage one time and some lady goes, 10 minutes, ha! It's like, yeah, 10 minutes, I'm by myself, who am I trying to impress? I'm not lighting candles and playing Jodeci. I have shit to do today. Not plans. I have a lot of practice at this. I know how to do it. But I think that's just you ladies and your complicated vaginas, I'm not gonna lie. Cause like, for dude, jerking off is kind of like playing Atari, the old school Atari. You kind of just move the stick around till you get where you need to go. But I think for a lady, it's a lot more like Guitar Hero. Like there's a lot of rhythm and timing involved. But for some reason the C button is hidden under some stuff that you gotta get to and pull back so you can get. Maybe some more advanced players use the button in the back, right? Any of you ladies out here playing an expert?
That's a good one.
Oh, this can only get grosser.